Welcome to the Dumb Idea Podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video or podcast on any platform that you're listening on. Please visit us at www.dumbideapodcast.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. So with the latest issue that's come up in the 24-hour news cycle, I guess right now would be the abortion debate, which we kind of touched on in a previous episode. But then there's going to be something else that comes along, which will then be the current thing. I think a lot of people have seen the meme with the NPC drawing with the current thing. And when you think that you laugh about it, but there really is a current thing that just dominates everyone for every story, every newscast, every article. If you're on Facebook, all the conversations that are going on of the current thing. I guess prior to that, it was Ukraine was the current thing. And everyone was posting the Ukrainian flags on their I Stand With Ukraine and all this stuff for that current thing. COVID came in and out as the current thing. Getting vaccinated came out as the current thing. Whatever protest of the day is the current thing. And when you look, it goes back, they change. I mean, if you go back prior to the pandemic with Me Too was the current thing. And then even further back, when I think it was Boko Haram in Nigeria kidnapped those the schoolgirls, which no one's saying that's acceptable by any stretch, but that was the current thing. Hashtag Save Our Girls. Everyone's holding the signs and posting that on their thing, but no one's ever really doing anything about it.
Right. They're saying how it's all about I stand with, right?
Right.
I stand with Ukraine. I stand with the girls in Boko Haram, and they changed their, like you said, they changed the Facebook Facebook profile picture where it's like an overlay. Mm-hmm. Like what was the other one? I stand with France or something. When the attack happened in France or something like that.
Yep. There was I think it was whatever magazine that was.
Oh,
or whatever. Right. There's the master. They have everyone changed their Facebook picture to something with, the French tricolor on it, and
it didn't have to do with the magazine that did the cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad or something like that.
Yep.
And then there was an attack on that magazine's office or something like that, and everyone was like, "Oh, I stand with France" or whatever it was, and. But and no one's saying like the actual event is a good event, right? Like no one's like in favor of killing Ukrainians.
No,
but it's like the overt, and we've talked about virtue signaling, the overt signaling of what you're for or against, right? And a lot of it's probably crowd following. Like, Tommy down the street changed his profile picture. I gotta do it too to make sure he doesn't think I'm
right. Because if I don't have the Ukrainian flag in my Twitter bio, or if I don't have it on my Facebook or Twitter or whatever handle I've got, then that means I support the Russians.
That's right. Yeah, and it's the weird thing is that all these people that change their picture or their hashtags or whatever they do on whatever social media platform that they have. They're not doing anything.
No.
There's no action. It's not like Facebook donates $1 for every person that changes their profile pic. Or it's not like the person in France sees the person in Arnold, Maryland change their profile picture to the French flag.
Right.
Oh, okay, we're safe now.
I was just thinking, en français, je pense que blah, 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 that the world was over. But Becky, whose kid plays base soccer, changed her profile picture to the French flag, and I feel so much better now.
Everything's gonna be all right now.
Everything's fine.
It's like, well, she stands with me. Well, I guess we're okay then.
Right.
No more bad stuff will happen to France anymore. Yeah, and the funny part is I don't think that these people really understand that there are actual people, for example, like the Ukraine one. Mm-hmm. You know, Becky down the block changed her profile picture. Johnny, the ex-vet who now doesn't have a war to fight, actually went over there with a gun.
Yeah.
And is fighting
Yep.
against the Russians. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's standing with Ukraine.
Yeah.
Becky from down the block hasn't done shit.
Right. Or even if you're to, collect food or clothing, whatever you're going to do to try to help.
Sure.
That's actually doing something.
Right, but Becky down the block didn't do any of that.
No.
She just changed her profile pic.
Right. Change it. And, sometimes, so do you remember I think it was 2020 when everyone changed their profile picture on Instagram and everything to a black square? The entire thing was a black square.
Okay.
It was to support BLM.
Oh, okay.
Or the protesters or whatever, whatever groups were going on, and they hashtagged it, BLM. I forget what the hashtag was. But that's what these people were using to coordinate their efforts, and it just flooded their entire feeds with Becky from down the block with her black square.
Right.
So they were trying to coordinate movements or whatever they were doing, and it actually hindered their efforts. All these clowns with their black square, and there's a great meme with that. It was Ralph Wiggum holding a black square and it said, "I'm helping." And no, you're actually not helping anything. In fact, you're hindering. But and it just they come and go so quickly. And you look at the Afghanistan withdrawal and what a debacle that was. And there wasn't too much of it going on then. That was never the current thing. They were trying to brush that under the table as quickly as they could. But then some other current thing comes out right after that kind of makes everyone forget about the previous current thing. So the current bad thing, Afghanistan, that they don't want anyone to talk about, is then replaced with what happened in December. Oh, the Omicron came out. And that was the current thing for a while. Get your second booster. And how quickly we forgot about the debacle in Afghanistan, and now we've replaced it with the new current thing.
So that's the vaccine one. That's another one I don't get. Not that I don't get the vaccine, I got them. But I don't feel like me posting or changing my profile picture on Facebook to hashtag I got my vax.
Right.
Or hashtag I did it.
Right.
Or hashtag we can do it together.
What was the stupid one? The Fauci ouchie.
Right.
They'll have the little emoji with the mask on and then an emoji with a syringe.
Yes.
And that was in there, again, just who cares? Okay. Or the masked and vaxxed type of deal was their big thing.
And my thing was, I don't need to know that you're vaxxed.
I don't care.
Person who I haven't seen in 10 years, who I don't live near, or even the person down the street. I don't care. And they literally are doing it for themselves, for their own inner whatever, their inner peace, I guess. I got mine, so now I'm going to broadcast my virtuousness. And that's what it is. It's the biggest virtue signal. You're throwing up your bat signal and saying, I did something. I'm better than all the people who didn't change their profile picture.
Right.
Because what if someone got their vaccine, such as myself, pardon my voice and my cough, I didn't change my profile picture. I just don't do that. So nobody knows if I got it or not, unless they talk to me.
Right.
Am I a worse person now?
Absolutely.
I must be, right? Because I didn't change. Because someone from my high school who I happened to click yes on the friend request for, who changed her profile picture with the hashtag and all the fun memes and whatnot. She doesn't know if I got it. That means I must not have gotten it because I didn't tell everyone.
Right, and you should have. If you were a virtuous person, you would have.
That's right.
So that everyone could feel safe around you.
Exactly.
So, Yeah, and I just wonder, like, right now, the current thing is the. It always seems like the new current thing comes out when some real bad news is coming out. Okay, so what was happening 3-4 weeks ago? What were they talking about? They're talking about the Hunter Biden laptop thing. Well, then now this Roe versus Wade leak, the Supreme Court decision leaks. And now no one's talking about that thing anymore. And it's almost like there's a new current thing every time there's a bad current thing that comes out. And it just, me being a skeptic and only a partial member of the tinfoil hat wearing crowd, it always, whenever I see it, I always wonder, what are they hiding? What are they really doing now that now that we have a new current thing to yammer on about?
And I'm looking at my phone just because there's a perfect example. There's this guy on Facebook, and I'm looking on Facebook because I'm trying to give him credit. But I don't remember. Oh, here we go. It's history. What did I watch? Here we go. Okay, so don't laugh. The guy's name on Facebook is Joey Swole.
Okay, sounds like a cool dude.
He basically does online fitness training and coaching and nutrition. And he started this new video series where he takes these videos off either TikTok or Facebook or wherever, Instagram, it doesn't matter where. And the videos are always of someone who's in a gym working out or who's not working out. They're in the gym and they're shooting video of someone doing their workout, but to make fun of them because they're doing like some odd exercise or whatever.
Right.
The person who's taking the video deems it unworthy of the gym. And this dude he's jacked, obviously he spent some time in the gym.
Yeah.
He takes these videos and he puts them on social media, and not for what you think. He's not doing it to make fun of the person who's doing the workout and being taped. He's doing it to basically reprimand the person making the video.
Yeah.
And saying, who are you? Like, this person's in a gym trying to better themselves. Mm-hmm. Who are you to make fun of them?
Right.
For doing that? Like, we have a hard enough time getting people to go to a gym. I should know. I don't go. And here someone is, they're going to this gym. What if they see the video?
Yeah.
And then they don't go to the gym anymore?
Yeah.
They're not going to go better themselves anymore because some jerk decided to post a video on them to make fun of them, not to showcase them.
Right.
And say, hey, look, you can do your own workout. Go to the gym. Get healthy.
Yes.
Do whatever you want. Just go. Put 2 feet inside. And so this guy, Joey Swole, is at the end of every video, he just says, mind your own business. Mm-hmm. When you go to the gym, do your workout, mind your own business. He goes, and basically said, we need to change gym culture. Because gym culture in and of itself pushes people away who may be self-conscious of themselves.
Yeah.
When they go in the gym. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, some of these people, and like the people making the videos, they're bringing attention to themselves. Like, hey, I'm cool. Look at me. This guy's a fool. I'm taking a video of him.
Right.
I'm doing the right thing in the gym. This guy's just a fool. Mm-hmm. Well, it's like the person who posts their profile picture or whatever with whatever hashtag of the day it is, basically saying, look at me, I'm right, I'm on the right side of history because because I say I'm with this.
Yeah.
And anyone who doesn't do this, anyone who doesn't change their profile picture to project what they believe, well, they're the guy in the gym doing their own workout, minding their own business. Mm-hmm. And in the background, the virtue signals are making fun of him.
Yeah, we can all sit around and make fun of this dude.
Right.
Because he's not. And I need to check that dude out because there's probably a bunch of stuff in there where, whatever donkey is filming the guy that's doing supposedly whatever that he deems to be incorrect and laughable, there's probably something where most of those guys are actually doing something correct.
Right, and he points that out every time. Yeah. He says, actually, like there was a guy who was doing it was like some exercise with his neck. So he had like a a harness on top of his head, almost like the inside of a baseball cap, that was connected to the pull down.
Okay. Yeah.
The pull down weights.
Yeah. We used to do it in football. We do it with
Right, to strengthen your neck.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
this guy, Joey Swole, basically says, actually, this is a very common thing people do in rehab. And the reason why I know that is because my father had to when he broke his neck. And so he was basically saying, actually, you're the fool for taking this video, trying to dunk on him, when he's actually doing something proper.
Right.
But his other thing is, even if he's not, just mind your own business.
Or maybe go up to the dude and say, "Hey, you're not quite getting this thing. I had the same issue. This is the way to do it. Help somebody out rather than just stand there and laugh at them."
Right.
And being someone who, like, now I don't spend any time in the gym now. I have my own in the basement, but being someone who's larger and was self-conscious and going in there, like, yeah, and then to know that there are people like that, you're going to chase the people who need to be in there out of there.
Right.
And it's such a shitty thing to do. And then who died and made you king of the gym?
Right.
As my kids, like, they started saying the boss of the people. You're not the boss of the people.
Right.
So, but like, who died and made you king?
Right.
It's probably a lot of these dudes are, not that good a shape themselves.
No, I mean, one of them was like a skinny 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Of course, he's wearing like his cut off T-shirt.
Right.
Got the sleeves cut off like he's swole. Like, bro, so come on now.
Yeah. But let people do that. Let that dude leave that dude alone. Let him do his thing.
Right.
There are enough self-conscious people. Like, getting that guy in there in the first place is a good thing. Now, there was one that was funny. It was about Planet Fitness, which attracts a interesting crowd of people. And I was watching some of the Planet Fitness ones where people are like really going using machines completely wrong. But I would never go and take a video of that.
Right.
When I used to go to the gym, I was too focused on getting in, get my work, get my lift in, and getting out. And if you're there for business, then I really didn't care what was going on. It took a lot to distract me.
Right.
So, but I just, getting back to the original topic, I think there is a lot of that where just to kind of, I think people are so afraid to not fall on a certain side of a particular issue, that they just feel they have to do it. And if you feel you have to post the sign that says, "I'm standing with Ukraine," or "I believe all women," or whatever the current thing is, well, then you're just getting cudgeled into it. If that isn't heartfelt sincerity, then why are we, why are you bothering to do it in the first place?
Right. Yeah. It goes back to, it's almost like people want to dunk on somebody. And dunk on them is not the right word. It's basically like you want to push someone else down, and that's what's lifting you up.
Mm-hmm.
When doing that's never going to lift you high enough. You're always going to have to keep doing it to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
If that's the person you are.
Right. Or just choose, like me, just choose not to engage.
Right.
But I think there are definitely people that think they, all my friends are posting the Ukrainian flag sign or whatever the current thing is, so I have to do it too, because if I don't do it, I'm somehow lesser. If I don't tell everyone I support Ukraine, then I must not support Ukraine. Getting back to the whole zero-sum thing. And I think what really is, a lot of these issues are so complicated that you, to just boil it down to a binary transaction, a 1 or 0, is that's far too simplistic to really handle or to debate or even think about some of these things.
Well, and there's never any debate. There's never any debate.
No.
For people that put that out there, like, You want to know what it does for me? It lets me know who just not to have that conversation with.
Yeah.
Because I know it's pointless.
Yep. No, I wonder if, so, people toss around the term sheeple a lot, and I think that's, I think definitely in some cases there are just the people getting led around by their nose, doing it whatever trend they think they should. But when I look back, like, doesn't anyone think, like, well, what about this thing we were just talking about? Like, we're now all in. The 24-hour news cycle is all in on Roe versus Wade. They're all in on it. But what about the thing that they were just talking about? Like, is that just nothing now?
Well, and there was another, and we talked about this in our Russia and Ukraine episode. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Everyone's quick to say I stand with Ukraine. Now, keep in mind, I don't fall one way or the other on this, and we kind of went through why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not a fan of wars to begin with. Sometimes, they get fought because there are some bad actors in the world at a certain point in time.
Right.
Like, no one's going to say Hitler was a great dude. Right?
Right.
Like, wow, that guy sucked, who was able to convince a lot of people of a lot of stuff. And those people did really bad things on his behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And the world needed to stop him. And they did.
Yeah, I think
that might have been a war of necessity, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of these, like, the world is definitely a better place. Like, sometimes you have to shoot a bad guy in the face. And the world is a better place because Hitler got shot in the face. The world's a better place that Imperial Japan is no longer around.
Yeah.
The world is a better place because we shot Osama bin Laden in the face. I think the world's a better place because Saddam Hussein's not there anymore. Now, all the stuff that surrounds it is all super complicated. But I think if you were to boil it down, you can probably, with relative certainty, say that the world's better off without these characters running around in it.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could make a case for why Saddam Hussein needed to be the leader of Iraq.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because without him as the leader of Iraq, it fell into complete and utter chaos, and a lot more people died as a result of him not being there than died with him being there. Now, on the flip side of that, though, what he did to the Shiite population of that country was horrendous.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what's better? This guy doing these nasty things to one group of people, or he's gone and all these wars and battles get fought, a lot of them with outside proxies having a say. For example, Iran, Syria, the Kurds.
Yep.
The Kurds from Turkey were involved with this. And then on top of that, you have, the United States is in there. The Brits are in there. Australians, all the coalition forces are in there.
Yep.
And they've got, so everyone now at this point has their own, is pulling on their own strings to try and make it the way they want. And more people are dying, right? So let's say under Saddam Hussein, and I'm just going to use false numbers. Let's say under Saddam Hussein, 100,000 people died. After Saddam Hussein fell, 100,000 people died. Which was better?
Right. Yeah, and it's hard to. And I think the other thing with that being especially with Saddam Hussein, is that after the Ayatollah took over Iran, and they had the Iran-Iraq war, Saddam was our friend, and we were,
yes, he was.
And let's also not forget that a lot of the jets that were shot down in the first Gulf War were F-4 Phantoms with Iraqi Air Force emblems on them that we gave to him.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where he's a bad dude, but he was our friend. At that time, he was our current thing. He
Right.
became not our current thing.
Hashtag Saddam.
Yeah.
Right? I should change my profile pic tomorrow. But, and not that I'm saying, like, Hitler was a great guy. Like, I'm not saying he should still be around. Things were infinitely better without him around because of the future damage he could have done.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because, yes, he was exterminating Jewish people, but he was also exterminating Poles and other ethnic peoples. So, who's to say how far he would have gone and how many more people he would have murdered?
Yeah.
So, to take him out along with the German army, one could say that was a virtuous thing that should have been.
Sure.
But there are a lot of other examples in history where you could say, well, and I think like the Ukraine and Russia thing could be one of those, because one of the things that the mainstream media like it's MSNBC and CNN, they're trying to say, because Russia's saying, hey, look, there are Nazis in the Ukraine fighting right now, and and basically they're making fun of Putin for saying that he's going after Nazis. And keep in mind, Russia and Nazis have a much different relationship with each other than the rest of the world because of how many people Russia lost in the world wars.
And I think a lot of people forget that with the Russians is that
they had the most casualties of any single country in World War II.
Civilian and military.
Yes.
And the Germans went right through Ukraine and actually had some support in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. A lot of that had to do with the way Stalin was treating Ukraine.
Sure.
So, again, it's nuanced. But
basically they're trying to paint him as a bad guy by saying Putin says he's going after Nazis. There are no Nazis there. Oh, really?
Right.
You might want to check your facts again on this one because you're about to 6 months from now, it's going to be oopsies, there were Nazis there.
Yeah.
Because it's very well known that the major fighting force in Ukraine, called the Azov Battalion, are Nazis.
Yeah.
Like, that debate ended 6 months ago. I feel like the mainstream media and like some of the liberal media always seems to be 6 months to a year behind.
Yeah. Well, I think because they tell the story how they want, either how it benefits whatever side they're supporting, or how they tell it how they wish it was, because they have this pie in the sky idealism. But nothing's ever that clean. Nothing's ever that clean. Nothing's ever that clear cut.
Well, but the weird thing is if it comes from the right, they're quick to say, oh, conspiracy theory. There's no way it's true. Came from them.
Right.
6 months later, oh, looks like it might have been true. We're the first to report it.
Yeah, but they pretend that they pretend that no one ever said anything about it before.
It's like it never happened to them.
Yeah.
But first news tonight, there are Nazis fighting for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Against the Russians. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's horrible.
It's almost like they have a complete lack of self-awareness.
Or their memories are just, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Because they watch the other side.
Yeah.
They watch Fox News all the time because they love to harp on what Fox News says.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, so they know what they're saying. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe no one said the Nazis were fighting for Ukraine.
Right.
How could we not know that? Because you weren't listening, or you saw it and just ignored it.
Right. And I don't necessarily blame the average Ukrainian that doesn't want to be part of Russia, that's going to say, okay, these Nazis can fight against the Russians, and it's one of the most fiercely fighting units that there is out there. But it was funny, they were talking about a lieutenant colonel in the Azov Battalion. I forget what news I was watching. And this guy's a lieutenant colonel. He's like the mayor of one of the towns. And all of a sudden, they're like, he's a lieutenant colonel in the Azov Battalion. I was like, pretty sure there's real Nazis.
Yep.
But here this guy is. They're doing this feature on him. And yeah, is he doing something like he'd go and he'd run back and handle town business and then go and put his heavy vest back on grab his rifle and go back out and fight. So like, okay, it's a cool story, but when it breaks, they're just going to conveniently forget that they mentioned anything about that guy. And it almost makes me wonder, like, how stupid do you think everybody is? But when you just switch from current thing to current thing, maybe everyone is that stupid. As long as they just say, hey, look over here. Look over here at the current thing. It's right here.
And I feel like generally when you're getting it, it's not the rope-a-dope. It's like when in boxing, when the boxer puts his left arm up in the air to get the other boxer's attention.
Yeah.
And then he throws a right hook and knocks him out.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's like
you'd see it in Three Stooges. You go whoop, 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 and then smack him.
Right.
So yeah,
it works a lot because like, hey, we're gonna pump this story 24/7 on all the major news networks, late night TV, the cable news networks, other than the ones that don't subscribe to what we're saying, and we're gonna pump this story 24/7. And it's going to be our new cause. Meanwhile, I'm going to make sure this contract over here goes to the right place. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure the right bank accounts get filled up.
Yeah,
because they don't want you to see it, or there's like some secret operation going on somewhere else that would be very unsavory to the public.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're gonna do something. We're going to say something's virtuous, and we're going to do it over here. We're fighting for Ukraine. Yes. Sweden's joining NATO. Yes. Finland's joining NATO. Yes. And, oh, by the way, we just seized over $18 trillion worth of assets from Russian oligarchs.
Yeah.
And we cut off a pipeline so that our friends, the Saudis, could run a pipeline through Turkey to Europe. A lot of people don't realize that's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, no one talks about it.
So like
I'm learning it's going on right now.
So Russia has the pipelines, a lot of pipelines that go into Europe. Mm-hmm. And that's why Europe is very heavily reliant on Russia for gas and natural gas and oil. Well, they were trying to, and it's almost like you could follow the bouncing ball. Which war was happening a year or two ago in the Middle East?
Was that Yemen?
Syria.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that pipeline for Saudi Arabia would have to go through Syria, up through Turkey, all the way to the Ukraine. Mm-hmm. It just so happened that Russia got involved in the Syria conflict too, trying to make friends.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that got underreported in all of this. So that you got the boxer's hand up here, the left hand's up in the air. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Mm-hmm. Yay for Ukraine! I'm with Ukraine. I'm strong with Ukraine. Ukraine strong. Ukraine strong.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, we're gonna build this pipeline while they're not looking.
Yep.
And Russia's saying, hey, you're about to cut off our entire economy by doing this. We keep telling you no, and you're doing it anyway. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that's the actual diversion, but I'm just saying those of us who are just regular Joes, we never know what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We like to think we do. Because some people told us some things, but we don't know, and we never will. We're not that connected. None of us are. Not me. In fact, I mean that pipeline thing I just told you. Mm-hmm. I mean, the only reason why I can even put it out there is because I put a couple stories together. I was like, wait a minute, this seems connected to I basically followed a bouncing ball.
Yeah.
But I could be 100% wrong. I don't have definitive proof.
Right.
Right? So, for all I know, there could be another... But the real thing that they're trying to do is somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the whole thing with the current thing. Like, look at... Let's see. Ghislaine Maxwell. So that trial was on. There's no cameras or anything in there. But then all of a sudden during this Ukraine stuff and the Johnny Depp trial, which I still for the life of me can't figure out why anyone cares about that.
I don't even know what. All I've heard about it was like she pooped in his bed.
Me too. That's all I know. He pooped in the bed. She pooped in the bed, and he's got like emotional support alpacas outside.
Yes,
and it's in Fairfax. That's all I know about this thing, and I don't care. And I can't understand why this thing deserves 24-hour coverage, except it's probably a smokescreen for some other devious, shitty thing that they're doing. But during all this, Ghislaine Maxwell's her sentence got reduced to like 10 years or something.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I thought she got her. I thought she got her new trial denied or something like that. Did they also reduce her sentence at the same time?
Yeah. So it's like
that's another one then.
Yeah, but that was all the big thing, you know. And look at remember when it was Me Too?
Yeah.
And we talked about this before when how they what was that was the current thing. Then what did they start talking about? Aunt Becky.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Me Too went away.
Right.
And it knocked out some pretty high people.
I never understood the whole Aunt Becky and her friend situation. I was like, okay, so she basically paid to get her kid into college or accepted into USC.
Yeah, isn't every building named after somebody paying to get someone's kid into college?
Yeah, I didn't really think that was a thing. Like, I was like, yeah, no, we already knew this. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, this is awful. This is horrible. This is like, really? I didn't.
Right, like, and
you're just catching on to that this happens.
All you people went to expensive colleges. You should know this,
right? Like, I went to a school. Every building had a name on it,
right,
of someone who donated
to get their dumb kid into that school.
Sure. I was like, okay. I mean, USC probably has like what 30,000 undergrads.
Yeah,
150 got in because their parents paid some cash and paid somebody off.
Yeah,
great. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Great, good story, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, why are we like? They literally put that on the news like for like 3 weeks straight.
Yeah,
and then Lori Laughlin's going to jail. She's going to jail for this.
like jail,
right? Right.
Not like she got 2 years. All suspended but time served, like really, like jail.
Well, she didn't. I don't think she went to pound me in the ass prison. Yeah, for all you Office Space fans out
federal
there,
pound me in the ass prison.
Right, I don't think she went to federal pound me in the ass prison.
But I look at that and I'm like, but that was the thing, and that's kind of what ended Me Too, and no one ever went back to it.
Yeah, right. And when was the last time you heard Harvey Weinstein's name?
Yeah, and that dude was Matt Lauer.
Wow.
Those were some pretty, big up there heavy hitters. How high did that thing go?
The other thing, and this is not going to be a very popular take. People are out there and didn't realize that the casting couch was real.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought everyone knew about that. I'm not saying it's right.
No, I thought that's how business was done. Granted, I'm not a Hollywood starlet or anything, but
no, but is it right that that's how it works? I mean, no, but for the most, I mean, these were grown consenting women,
right,
who agreed to do it in exchange for something, which they got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no offense, it's like prostitution, isn't it?
It's like quid pro quo,
right? I mean, and again, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it would be wrong if, she did it and then didn't get the part. Okay, it's a bail transaction.
Yeah.
But, and again, I'm not saying it's right.
I mean,
I'm just saying,
I think there's
I don't think we just found out about the casting couch in 2000.
There's an entire genre of adult entertainment called the backroom casting couch.
Right.
So,
yes,
it's the black leather couch. Everyone knows well, I've heard what that.
I never understood why it's leather. Wouldn't that hurt?
I don't know. It's easy to clean up.
Wouldn't cloth? Oh, yeah, true. You can't clean cloth up very well, but it was funny. There was an Instagram post from Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell, and Dax is laying on a leather couch shirtless,
mm-hmm.
and Kristen Bell's laying on top of him. And they post a picture, and Ashton Kutcher, who's good friends with Dax Shepard, said, "It's a bold move, laying shirtless on a leather couch." And Dax wrote back, he goes, "Yeah, it wasn't a good decision."
But like
Side story.
But that's, when you think about that stuff, like, but that was a big thing, and it was ended by the next current thing, which is then ended by the next current thing, and all the while, where I don't trust those in power anyway. I always wonder, like, okay, so right now it's this Roe v. Wade thing is the current thing. What's the next one? What are they working on now to distract everyone from this? And I think this Roe versus Wade thing, it's going to give them some mileage, because I don't think the actual decision is supposed to come out till July.
Yeah.
So they're going to get some mileage out of it.
I think they did it for the primaries.
Yeah.
Because the primaries are now.
Yeah.
So I think they wanted to get it out for the primaries. I could be wrong though. That is, who knows what. I wish like, it's one of those things, like, I wish I knew what the other hand was doing.
Yeah.
But I don't. And I don't want to pretend like I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I always feel like there's always another hand. Like, whatever they're pushing, it isn't what I should be looking at.
Yeah.
But it's shiny.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like,
ooh, look at this.
Like, Johnny Depp is on trial. Yes. I forget. Captain Jack Sparrow is on trial. Does he always wear that eye makeup, by the way?
I don't know.
Like, he always looks creepy to me.
Yeah.
Like, you wake up like that? Like, wow, all right.
And where's he from anyway? Is he American?
There was someone who posted, like, can someone tell me what Johnny Depp's accent is?
Yeah.
Because it's real weird.
Like, aside from villain. Like,
right.
And I'm not team anyone. Like, I apparently there are people that are taking sides in this.
I could care less.
I don't give a. I just want to go away.
Two rich people I don't care about.
Right.
Like, if Johnny goes to jail tomorrow, my life will still go on.
Exactly as it is now.
Yeah, I won't have a dime more or less.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, you remember when Chris Rock talked about the OJ trial? And he goes, how he talked about how, like, when the OJ verdict came out, black people were cheering like they won something. And he goes, every day I look at the mailbox for my OJ prize, nothing. Like, Johnny Depp goes to jail, I don't get anything in my mailbox either, one way or the other.
Right. That's why everyone was cheering that like it was some victory. It was like, it wasn't a victory that was just a rich guy that had really good lawyers. That's what that was. And the prosecution was terrible.
They were bad.
And then they were able to discredit the lead detective's entire testimony because he was dropping N-bombs. Like, I mean, it was just, that was right after Rodney King, so LAPD had, like, zero credibility.
Yeah.
So, like, that wasn't any great victory for social justice. That was a rich dude.
Well, it hasn't got any
that
better.
happens all over the place.
And it hasn't got any better.
Except for Lori Loughlin, who, went to prison.
Well, I mean, look at the Rittenhouse trial. They put that thing on TV, and all it did was make the prosecution look like they were a JV team.
Oh, yeah, they look terrible.
They look awful.
Yeah.
Like, are all prosecution teams this bad? Like, I'm surprised anyone's going to jail. You know what I mean? Like, no wonder they're doing so many plea deals. Because I would love to see... I mean, because you got to think, prosecutors only take things to trial that they can almost 100% win.
Well, especially at the federal level.
Yeah.
If the feds are taking you to trial, you're cooked.
I would love to see what Littlefinger's record is in court. Because he was by the way, he was a dead ringer for Littlefinger in Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And the prosecutor for the Rittenhouse trial. Dead ringer for him. I would love to see what his win-loss record is in courtroom. Because, God, he looked awful.
Yeah.
Like, he stepped on grenades all over the place.
Well, and then some of them are, like, when the actual elected district attorney goes and handles the case, a lot of times their staffers are better. Because their staffers are the ones that are actually doing it every day.
Right.
And especially if there's going to be a TV trial or something, they want to get some notoriety, they'll go and they'll be the one that is the lead prosecutor. But generally it's the staffers are especially in a big office, the staff, like their staff attorney, are a lot better than, because they do it every day. Think about like a kitchen. You've got the executive chef.
Right.
The executive chef probably never cooks anything. They're just in charge of like managing everything,
Right.
Whereas the line cooks and the sous chefs, and they're the ones that are actually doing the real, actual making of the food.
Yeah. Speaking of Me Too, if we go back to that one real quick, where are they on this whole Ghislaine Maxwell trial?
Yeah.
I wonder if you went out. You know how like some of these like YouTubers or whatever, they do like the man on the street thing, where they go and they ask people about, what do you think about this, or what do you think about that, or whatever they do. I wonder if they went on the street and said, "Can you tell me what Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for?"
Yeah.
Because she's in prison for sex trafficking.
Right.
Like grooming girls to turn them into prostitutes to have sex with old men.
Old rich dudes.
Yes. Like, she legit was a sex trafficker.
Right.
There's no Me Too, like
silence.
Like, there's got to be some of that organization left, right? How about no one wants to stand with Me Too on that one?
I think it was just a hashtag. I don't think there's any group. I think it was, who was that actress that used to date the guy from Nine Inch Nails?
Rose McGowan.
Yeah, I think it was her and a bunch of hashtag internet activism.
So where's she?
I don't know.
Where are any of these people? Like, this lady, I mean, never mind Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell was just as bad as Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
Trafficking girls for sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like, good God. Like, how isn't there Me Too about all that?
Yeah, and what about, they have to have lists of people that did this.
Oh,
There has to be, but not one of them.
That's probably why she's not dead.
Yeah. Oh, she's probably,
She had the books.
that's her dead man switch.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if I end up dead, the books are here and they will be released.
Look, that's one conspiracy I will buy into.
Yeah.
Because she's not dead. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's still got time. Someone could offer. Mm-hmm. But she's got some records somewhere that people don't want other people to see.
Yeah. And then for anyone that doesn't know the dead man switch on a suicide vest, people will wire a switch onto the vest. So if you shoot them, they let it go, and that's the dead man switch. So those books are out there. So that's her. That's what's keeping her alive.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, yeah, she trafficked them, and that's all really bad. But isn't it really bad too? The dudes that were actually, having sex with these young girls.
Sure.
That's pretty bad.
Sure. Especially if they were underage.
Yeah.
Which we don't know if they were.
Like the setup man. Like you got the middleman. What about the dude that actually sealed the deal? But none of them. Not one name's come out.
Well, so there is speculation about Prince Andrew. Mm-hmm. And how he's paid. I think he paid one of them off.
Right.
And like everyone knows she was paid off. And she can't speak, obviously, because she got paid.
Yeah.
But I'm like, people aren't putting two and two together with this.
But, and even on the greater scheme of things, Prince Andrew is kind of a minor figure, really.
He is, yeah. But
Bill Clinton's not.
He's part of the royal family.
Yeah.
And has the connections to others.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, if one domino falls, it opens the vault to all the other dominoes.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't know. I could be dead wrong. I mean, I don't think I am, but
Right.
it could be. I know in this day and age of the internet, eventually something will come out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to look good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like that, it's almost like that, the I don't know if it's a documentary, I don't know what to call it. The one that you told me about, from Dinesh D'Souza, 2000 Mules.
Yeah.
Like, that's data that they're starting to put together that I don't think anyone in 1,000 years who was running that scam I don't think they thought anyone would ever go to the lengths that these people did to gather raw data
Right.
to find out. Mm-hmm. And they are.
Yeah.
Long story short, basically the 2000 Mule story was they took data plots from cell phones of people that went to nonprofit organizations that harvest ballots, more or less. So they would get ballots from people they would get absentee ballots. They'd fill them, and they would give them to these mules. And the reason why they call them mules because they equate them to like drug mules.
Yeah.
And these mules would take 5 to 10 at a time and go to 20 or 30 ballot drop boxes and drop them in.
Mm-hmm.
Under their most conservative estimates, 3 states would have flipped in the last election, which was enough to flip the election to Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that's legit. I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying that's their conservative estimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to see that movie.
It was amazing
Yeah.
to look at. And I want to look at the rebuttals, though.
Yeah.
I want to see what holes people can poke in it.
But, the thing that troubles me is that if this is out there, but no one is bothering to take the time to actually look into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that to me is that's the worst part to me, is that no one's bothered to even, it's just, don't care. But what's the next current thing?
It'd be the equivalent of you've got Will Smith on camera slapping Chris Rock.
Uh-huh.
And the people that could do something about it saying, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy. No, but I've got the video. It's right here. It didn't happen.
Right.
What do you mean it didn't happen?
Yeah,
I watched it.
right.
Here's a video. It's unedited.
Yeah.
He slapped him.
Yep.
There's his hand. There's his face. There's his hand making contact with his face on video.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen.
Yep.
It's literally it goes back to our favorite defense, the Shaggy defense.
Yeah, wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
But it's, but again, it'll be what's the next current thing.
Right.
If that picks up any steam, which it won't, because it's mainly just circulating in conservative circles, and no one really is going to pay attention to it.
Which one's that? The
2000 Mules.
No one from the left will ever see it.
Right, which is where the media all is anyway. They'll just ignore it or pretend it doesn't exist. So then, and if it does get any traction, they'll just have a new current thing. So,
What they'll do is they'll just dismiss it.
yeah,
Oh, he's a right-wing pundit.
yeah. But like,
All this data, though, is because he's right-wing. He skewed it all.
yeah. But like, the laptop back in August of 20,
Yep.
when that dropped, that was Russian disinformation. They had all these former heads of the intelligence community saying it just reeked of Russian disinformation, misinformation, blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, it's now it comes back, it resurfaces, and you have actual people saying, yeah, there's something here, and boom, the Supreme Court decision gets leaked. New current thing. So if it does pick up any traction, there'll just be another current thing that comes out.
Well, and the thing with D'Souza, the people he worked with, they used this type of data before, and it actually got a Republican seat overturned in North Carolina. So people are going to say that they're right wing, like the I forget what they're called. It's like True Politics or something like that. They're going to call them right wing because of this. Meanwhile, the only election that they've used their data to help authorities determine an outcome with, or basically say, hey, look, you have issues. Mm-hmm. It actually overturned a Republican seat to a Democrat. It was Mark Harris's seat in North Carolina. And he was declared the winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then they showed them the data using this exact method. And basically, it got overturned.
Yeah.
But they're still going to call them right wing
Mm-hmm.
because it's now being used against the Democrat.
Right. Or they'll call them MAGA or Ultra MAGA is the new one.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when Dinesh D'Souza goes and does like speaking engagements. You should hear what people say to this dude. It's, I mean, same thing with like Ben Shapiro and it's like, wow, like, and I love I watch the videos where Ben Shapiro goes and he takes questions from the audience and he just calmly uses facts
Yeah.
and figures and data. And then these college kids who are asking or trying to shut him down because they think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, hey, you just taught me something today, they immediately attack him personally.
Right. Fascist.
Or they literally call him a Nazi.
Yeah.
He's Jewish. Like, come on.
Yeah. Orthodox.
Or like Malcolm Nance did on Real Time with Bill Maher. Mm-hmm. He just goes, his one, like, Ben had mentioned something, and they're talking about critical race theory, and Ben mentioned something, and Malcolm Nance goes, "Is this what you talk about on your show? Because it sucks." Like, that's not an argument, dude.
Right.
That's not an intelligent argument.
Right.
And of course, I mean, Ben came back with something that wasn't also an intelligent argument, but Nance just went right to the gutter with it because he realized he lost.
Yeah.
And rather than taking his L and saying, "Oh, you taught me something today," it was immediately, "Your show sucks if you talk about this."
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't think it sucks. Like, it just got, I mean, there's such a divide. But I think the people that got their president of choice in are forgetting that there were 74 million people that voted for the other guy.
Yeah.
Not that they're in love with him, but 74 million votes was more than any other president or more than any other presidential candidate had received,
Yeah.
other than the one who beat him.
Yeah. That's like, it sounds a lot like my fantasy football seasons.
Yeah.
Like I will have enough points to beat any other team except the team I played, and then it'll happen to me again the next week. Like, oh, I have the second most points in the league for this week, and I played the team that has the first most points.
Right.
So, yeah, but I can't get over every time I see it, I just think, what's going to be the next current thing to keep the dummies occupied,
The only ones I'm in favor of when people do that are like the cancer fundraisers.
Yeah.
Because everyone can get behind that. Nobody likes cancer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone can unite behind that. It's not
Yeah.
a virtue signal if everybody hates it.
Right. Yeah. And I think, now, like, so you've got October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Is it? Mm-hmm. I actually don't. I don't know which month is for what.
That's
so.
the pink ribbon,
Okay.
So I think the one we just had was Autism Awareness Month is April, but
Right.
so now everyone wears the pink ribbon, and everyone associates that with Susan G. Komen.
Yeah.
But Susan G. Komen is just breast cancer awareness. They don't.
They don't fund research.
They do a lot of funding for themselves. Like, yeah, a lot of these nonprofits, when you look at them, are
There's a lot of admin fees.
oh yeah,
Well, United Way got caught doing that years
Yeah.
ago.
yeah,
It killed their fundraising for a while
Yeah.
until they fixed that.
yeah. The best one is it's Goodwill. They have zero overhead. They're a nonprofit, but they sell all that stuff. I'm digging it though. As a capitalist, I'm digging it.
The building's got to cost something. The employees got to cost something.
Yeah, they pay them like minimum wage.
We have the building.
Yeah, but minimum wage now is like what, $15 an hour. They're paying these dudes $30,000 a year to work there.
Actually, I'll be honest, if someone's paying minimum wage right now, they have no employees.
Right.
Because I think right now, I was filling up my car with gas today, and on the pump, they actually list what their salaries are. Mm-hmm. I think first 2 weeks was like $17 an hour. Then it bumped up to $25 an hour. And management, like if you were a manager of the gas station convenience store, $85,000 a year.
What?
I shit you not.
Wow.
So look, if you're looking for a job that you probably advance to pretty quick, look at highs, man. $85,000 a year to get a manager. And I don't think you got to be super sharp to get in that managerial role.
Yeah, it's probably not like, NASA level stuff going on in there.
No, but that was astounding to me. $85,000.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, we had talked about McDonald's assistant managers making like 65, 70, and regular managers probably making like close to 100. So I mean, I guess that's what that's the going rate, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully we offended everybody, and maybe people are gonna be like, they're gonna hashtag something about the show.
Yeah.
Hashtag dumb idea sucks.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Hashtag dumb idea. That name fits.
But thank you for listening. But please go to dumbideapodcast.com. Get yourself a VPN, virtual private internet access. Click on that link on the right hand side. Should have an interesting show coming up next week. I think we're going to talk about some of our favorite movies. And maybe we can do TV shows. But we'll figure something out. But thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.